All right, welcome to ULTradez. My name is David Whiteley, and today is September the 18th. I'm going to do a little bit of a recap video today to catch up on where I finished last week. The last video I made was, I think, last Wednesday, and so we'll catch you up on where I'm at so far, including I want to highlight one trade that I made, well, two trades I made last Thursday that are kind of important, and then the trades from today and how things went. So we're going to start off with the recap of last week. When I finished my video on Wednesday last week, we were at, I think we were up about $1,000-ish in each account. So really Monday last week was a break-even day. Tuesday we were up at $200, give or take. Wednesday we were up $800. We had an $800 day Wednesday. So finished the day up about $1,000. And then on Thursday, I made one really bad trade, and that's the trade that I want to show to you today and the lessons that I learned from that. And then Friday was another pretty bad day. I found that when I have really bad days, I should probably just take the next day off to reset because I just don't make great decisions. So I didn't make any really poor choices on Friday, but it was a lot of just kind of mediocre trades that didn't really work. And so I ended up down another about $500 on Friday. So we finished the week quite behind, unfortunately. So today the strategy was to scale back. And so I'm trading micros in the ES just to get a little more of a cushion in my trailing drawdown so that we can work this thing back up. Okay, so that's where we're at. Here, after I go through all the trades, I'll show you where my balances are as of today. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start on the 14th, which was last Thursday. So what I've had success with, or last week up to Thursday, I'd had success with just kind of taking shorter scalping type trades in the ES. And I was doing 2 contracts per trade and really looking for just 1 or 2 points. Very kind of quick in and out type trades. And something I've only had the need to do it maybe 2 times before this. And so what I would do is in kind of a trading range, right? You'd sell at the top and then look for it to move down a point, for example. If you sold and then it moved against you, after a point or 2, you'd sell again. Okay, so now you're in 4 contracts, which gives you the opportunity to get out, hopefully break even on your first position and make a little bit on your second position. And so it allows you to kind of stay in it a little bit longer and ride those pullbacks. And that's what I tried to do, but I misread the market context pretty badly. So here's what we're looking at. On Thursday in the ES, this is the 1-minute chart, we had kind of this opening. It was just going sideways, and then we started kind of this down channel. We had it kind of popped out of this channel. I think there was some news maybe right here that pushed it out, but right back into the channel. You can see I had 2 winning trades here. And then what happened is, let me scale this thing here. Here we go. We got to a point where this line here, this horizontal line, represents the top of the London opening, the London session range. And what I found is a lot of times price will go between the high of the London session and the low of the London session, or vice versa. Okay, so the London session is like 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern time. And so when price closed below that top line of the range, I got kind of excited about it. And as soon as it started to push down, I just sold 2 contracts right here at the bottom. Okay, so here's problem number 1 is we're selling at the bottom. Never want to do that unless you got some really, really good reason to, but generally just a bad idea. Of course, I thought I had a good reason. What I missed, though, was we were still in context of this downward channel. We had not broken the channel. I got in the first 2 contracts. It pulled back up a point. I sold another 2 contracts. And ironically enough, the next candle did come down and I had the opportunity to actually get out with a profit right here. But I was so, I guess, expecting it to continue to push down that I just waited. This one closed up, pushed a little bit higher. I sold 2 more contracts. So now I'm into this thing, 6 contracts, and it does not come back. It just immediately pushes up. And at this point, I'm getting kind of nervous. And truthfully, I just kind of froze. Everything in me was telling me just get out right now. About the time this candle closed, I should just get out. But I was still holding out hope that we would test the top of this channel and come back down. Of course, you look at this candle formation, and what do you see? You have, I guess you'd call these tweezer bottoms, right? We've got 2 long wicks at the bottom of a range, followed by, pretty strong candles pushing up. And I hit my stop loss. That was about a $1,200 loss on that trade. So not good at all. So I allowed myself to see one potential opportunity, and it blinded me to the fact that what was actually happening in front of me was not setting up that opportunity at all. What you need to wait for is a break of structure, a break out of the channel, and then a retest or something, and then a push down, which never came. So I jumped the gun, and it cost me. Then I had a couple more trades and another mishap right here. You can see I have 2 entries short right here. The purple ones are sell orders. And what happened here was I was looking at the top of the range. I was looking for it to come down, so I sold 2, and I used the button over here. I don't know if I sold market or I can't remember which one I used. But I hit the button, nothing happened. So I hit it again, nothing happened. And then a couple seconds later, both orders filled. So it was just a delay. So I was in 4 contracts on this one that immediately pushed up against me. And as soon as it broke outside of this channel, I bailed on that. So in total, this was a $1,600 loss, give or take, on this day. Okay. So the lesson learned, and I think on Wednesday in the video, I talked about not over positioning yourself, which is something that I would tend to do. I'd feel, hey, I'm kind of on this winning streak. And so I'd crank up my contracts. I didn't do that exactly, but by allowing myself to, not take a step back and kind of read this context, I did get into this position, way too deep, and I paid for it. So that's that. So let's go to today. Today, like I said, we're doing micros. Actually, I'm going to show this on the 5-minute chart. So this is the 5-minute chart for ES. I had 2 trades today in ES, trading 2 micros. So very, very small. This one, I'll just go through these briefly, and then I'll show you what's going on in the RTY. We had a push up. We have this doji candle here, push up, pull back hard. So I put a sell order 1 tick below the close of this bar. This bar opens, comes up, comes down, ticks me in, immediately falls down. And I sell out down here. I use the 1-minute chart to get out of it once momentum started to slow down. And that was about a 6-point win there. So that was a nice win. After that, price moves up, and it was just a really kind of a slow, choppy day. I missed this would have been a good entry long right here once we have a strong push out of this consolidation. These purple lines are the high and low of the London range, and you can see they played pretty big. Price just kind of pushed through them, and then that held as support here until it failed. And as soon as it failed, price dropped down to the other side. So that's what I see happen a lot of times, and that's what I was expecting to see last Thursday, and it just obviously didn't happen. So there would have been a good entry here, but I did miss that one. The next entry I took was right here after price comes down, starts to kind of get weak. I was looking for this again to fall to the other side. This time I was patient. It came below. We have a retest. I actually got in this trade based off of the 1-minute chart, but This I didn't let this go all the way because what had happened was I tried to move an order, drag an order up on the screen and drop it there, and I missed it a little bit as price was kind of bouncing around. And essentially, because I'm doing micros, I'm using the sim account as the leader account, and then so that I can trade on the E-mini chart, and then have all the follower accounts execute it on the micros. And for whatever reason, I don't know exactly, but only two of the follower accounts got filled here, and so I sold. So I wasn't going to just kind of wait and hold out just for the 2 accounts. And so I moved my target up. The target got filled, but as soon as the target got filled, that executed the same order on all the other accounts for some reason. I still don't know exactly why. And so then I had to try and figure out what was going on, and because I didn't know exactly where I was at really, I just waited till I was in about break even, and I flattened everything. So another technical glitch. So one change that I'm going to make for tomorrow, because I still have to trade minis or micros, tomorrow, is I am going to use a micro chart. You can see I have the micro chart here. So I use the micro chart to actually execute the trades, but I'll be watching the mini chart to kind of take my cues off of that, and then go to the other chart to just hit the button. The charts are pretty similar, but they're not exactly the same, and so the movement's a little smoother on the ES chart versus the MES. So that's what I'm going to do. I was pleased with today. I think I only made about $60 today because of my position sizing, but I'm happy with those executions and those entries. So I'm very pleased with the performance today. Real quick, let's cover RTY, and then I'll show you my, see if I can find it, and then I'll show you the balances. Okay, so here's the RTY chart. Let's move over to our trading hours today. So RTY just isn't cooperating in terms of our strategy very well. What I'm looking for is price to really respect this yellow line here. This is the 9 EMA based on the 5-minute time frame, and you can see pre-market it doesn't, right? We have these pullbacks in this little trend, but none of them come down to touch the line. When it does come down, it pushes through the line, so the line really isn't holding any weight. Price opens in the morning, comes up for a touch, but this didn't touch, okay? At the time of this candle being formed, this yellow line was actually quite a ways above it. The strong pull down brought this line with it, so that, in hindsight, it looks like it touched, but in the moment, it was nowhere near there. So this is technically the first, well, I'm going to call it the second touch. Even though this didn't touch at the time, I would still consider it a touch because it did come back, right? So here's a second touch. This one failed. I did not get in this trade because we were stepping up, right? We have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, and I'm not going to take that. In addition, you've got, this is just a long candle, right? There's a huge candle going up into that line, so I'm staying out of it. The next opportunity to get in was right here. I didn't take it, again, because I'm just not trusting RTY right now. This one would have worked, okay? If you'd have had your order on the line, it would have executed, never hit your stop, and something like 20 minutes later, you would have got your 20 ticks in profit. So that would have worked if you'd have been patient. And that was about it, because I don't trade past 11 o'clock using the strategy in the RTY. And so that's that. No trades for me in the RTY today because it just wasn't behaving. You want to see those waves of price movement, and this was way too choppy, right? This is like trying to swim when all the speedboats are pulling skiers around you and just creating waves all over, and you just don't know what to expect. So I'm going to stay out of it. And that's the RTY. So here's where we're at in terms of our accounts. I'm doing this video pretty late, so I don't have the rhythmic and everything else reset, so I don't have those P&Ls for you to show. Here's my account balances in this column here. You can see I'm way down. 48.8 is my biggest balance. 48.242 is the lowest one. So a lot of ground to cover. This column here shows you, how far I am from hitting the $3,000 target. So up to $4,700 away. This is where I'm at with my drawdown. So very close. This one of these accounts, this guy whatever the lowest one is, I think this guy right here, he was at $80, I think, when I started the day. So we're up to 140. So really the strategy is tomorrow we're going to try and build a little bit of a buffer. Once we get this buffer up to about $500 or $600, then I'll feel comfortable doing a full ES contract. And once I can do that, I think we can pick up some momentum and we'll be fine. Again, really the only thing that pulled us back was really kind of one bad trade. And we won't do that anymore. But overall, I feel like my executions are really pretty good. I feel like I'm reading the market pretty well. I'm remaining patient, and as long as we can do that, I think we'll be fine. It's going to take us a little bit longer than we'd like, but things are moving in the right direction. So that is my summary for today. I hope that you all had a great day, and I hope your plan worked for you. I hope you followed your plan, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.